What are we up to today, you ask? Well, we'll probably be in the mid-90s here in Florida. It's 9 o'clock Saturday morning, trying to beat the heat. Gonna move my wife's car out of the garage. Gonna get my truckette centered in the garage. This is a 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz, a mini truck. Thought I would never own such a thing. Well, you know, as you get older, lots of things change. Interesting thing about this truck, I don't know, do they call it unibody? There is no separation between the bed and the cab, but there's a wall behind the back seat. And to be able to run any antennas through this, I literally have to rip my tonneau cover, the bed liner, everything needs to be ripped out. It needs to be stripped for me to get to that firewall in between to be able to get a through hole back here to the back. I have no interest in doing that. For those who do car or auto installs, I'm sure I'll get some nasty comments and you'll tell me how wrong I am. And while you might be right, I really don't care. I am not ripping my truck apart. I am not sanding off paint to get the bare metal, and I am not taking straps to connect my tailgate to the body. Ain't doing it. I had a Nissan Frontier prior to this, and I didn't have to do anything strange. Meaning I didn't have to bond, again, if that's the correct term, all the body parts together, doors to frame, to bed, to frame. Didn't have to do any of that. I don't know why I just got lucky, maybe. I had my antenna on the window of the back of the cab. And when I say window, I don't mean it was one of those pass-through ones. I mean, literally the, the bracket double-sided taped to the window. My antenna was connected with coax going through the bed of the truck, and there were through holes in the bed of that truck that went through a through hole in the back of the cab, so that was an easy install. So no part of my antenna was touching any metal on the vehicle, so I never had any motor or noise feedback, and that radio, that was an FTM 400 UHF VHF, was connected to my battery, obviously positive, and my ground was grounded. It was the ground was attached to the ground up on the motor block. Worked beautiful. So I didn't have to do anything weird with that truck. Well, now I want to get some HF also. And of course, that's a bird of a different color completely. And well, if you're watching this, you're just interested in what the heck I'm doing, and I'll stop the ramble. I'll start to show you how I'm going to test this out to see if I can get away with an install that isn't typical. I'll show you as we go. So by now you've probably figured out this isn't one of Bob's normal videos. You know, I do a lot of editing and try to keep the video as short as possible, and I voice over so I can stay compact. I have a very busy life, so I try to keep things compact for you as I would want them for me. This video is a whole lot more of a ramble and letting you in on the experience. So feel free to click off whenever you want, because this is more of a discovery. If it works, if my testing works, there'll be a future install video. So I chose this smaller truck because my wife and I like to bike ride on the paved trails here in the Tampa Bay area, actually all across the state of Florida. Last Christmas, we did the entire Withlacoochee Trail over a couple of weeks. That was a blast. We can keep our bicycles on the bike rack in this truck and fit it in by just inches and close the garage door. We live in a house that was built 40 years ago. It's just a 1,200 square foot typical house, 2-car garage here in the Tampa Bay area. Nothing special about this garage. This truck fits in it with 2 bikes on it. That was one of the reasons. This is the 2.5 liter turbo, the non-turbo version of this. Nice truck, same truck, different motor, lousy. This has the dual wet clutch. A lot of people have trouble with that. Many people don't. Let me tell you, I don't miss my V6 at all. This thing is unbelievable as far as pickup. I am an offensive driver in both sense of the word. I drive offensively, and I am offensive in the way I drive. No apologies if I've run you off the road. I am sorry. All right, enough of rambling. This is the window that I want to go through. My theory is, if I get this to work, I have rubber gasketing here. And all I want to do is bring some really thin coax up from the top side of the window, curve it down, and then go wherever I want on the truck bed. I have T-slots on this truck bed, and that will allow me to put some type of crossbar here and attach some antennas. No clue if this is going to work. You say, yeah, but Bob, you're touching metal. Don't worry, I've got a way to isolate the antennas. That's my theory. If I can isolate my antenna from the metal body of this truck, will I be able to reduce the interference or make it go away? So I'm going to test that today by using my tripod with rubber feet and my 705 and probably my FX4CR and running off of this battery. Can I operate HF with no engine feedback? That's the goal. And if I can, then I'm going to use a cigarette lighter into the car battery power source and see if that creates noise with the same scenario. Antenna isolated. I think I'm going to have some issues with SWR, but I'm more concerned, first of all, can I get away with not having to do all kinds of bonding and grounding with my antennas? Again, I'm sure many of you have already typed in the comments, Bob, that's stupid, that's not the way to do it, you're wrong. Well, thank you for your input. Still don't care doing it my way because I don't want to tear my truck apart or drill or screw or sand paint on my brand new truck. All right, let's see if I can make this work. All right, I know you can't see from where you are right now, but this rubber gasketing is flexible and it's flexing in towards the window. And if I keep this up high, my theory is, that's not gonna work. All right, here in the corner would be the best place for it. Let's see if I can close, the window closes. All right, that's the first good start. Okay, so next, let's get an antenna on this. So the antenna that I'm going to put on here is my Gable 7530 TC. And I already have my Gable tripod here. And again, I'm using this because I've got the rubber feet on this. So I don't have to be, thinking about not connecting with the metal surface, right? That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not going to extend my antenna too far in here. I'll do this outside. You know what? We're going to go ahead and do that right away. So to do this test right, I'm going to go ahead and connect the antenna. I'm going to pull the vehicle out of the garage. We'll get the antenna close to 20 meters. We'll turn on the IC705 and see what happens. All right, we're connected here. Let's get the truck pulled out. The IC705 is in the front seat. Passenger will pull out, I'll get out and raise my antenna. And the next time you see me, I'll be sitting inside the truck with the truck off. All right, since we're making this up as we go, I do have the truck running. I want to keep some AC in it because it is really hot out here already. And I am going to try to dial in as close to 20 meters as possible. I do expect, just expect average SWR because I don't have any radial system here. I don't know how this is going to interact with the bed of this truck, which is aluminum slat. The tonneau cover, that is. All right, let's go ahead, see what we have. That's not good. All right, we're going to go for 14,275. Okay. I'm 8 to 1. Let's do some adjusting and see if that makes any difference. 5. What? 129 to 1. No, it's not supposed to be. Okay, well, whatever. We'll take it. All right, it moved on me because I can't reach across here to hold the coil and the nut at the same time. All right, we're 1.4 to 1. We're going to roll with that. Let's get you in the back seat and see what happens. Cool. Hey, All right, so I have way more coax in here than I want. Obviously, if I'm doing a permanent install, I will get that all shorter than it is right now, so it's not bunched up on itself. I'm running off of battery power right now. I'm connected to a Violating up here. All right, and I'm not turning the motor off because it's hot out here. So let's just turn this on and see what we have. Do I want to? Well, we won't. Yep, let's go ahead. Sorry. Let's go ahead and let's get our mic attached. Good grief, I'm not going to sit here and call CQ on the, or am I? Well, let's just first of all see if we have engine noise. I fully expect engine noise, don't you? Okay, here we go. Well, let's see. Parks on the air. All right, engine off. That didn't make any difference. Whoa. I have no idea what that was. Well, 10 watts. Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Mike Golf. Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Mike Golf. All right, do you see that? I'm getting something that comes through every couple seconds. I don't know if that is coming from my car or whether that's somewhere here in the neighborhood. Let's just wait and see if it comes through again.
November 55 in the U.S. 0667.
Turn off the car again. Absolutely no difference. Oh, this makes me happy. And when I first turn on, there's a very slight blip, and then it goes away. So, I may end up with a 705 right here off of one of those arms from Lido mount. I already have it. It's going to be one of the rigid ones that I can really control what I'm holding. But to be honest with you, my original plan was to put my FX4CR here in the vehicle. So let me get my FX4CR connected up here and see if we have just as much success with it as I did the 705. Because this is the radio that I actually want here in the car, just because of its size. Because this is a mini truck, you know, the cab space is even a little bit more restricted. So if I can make this work, I'm going to end up with probably the VGC, new VGC Mobile, that all the controls are in the mic, and then my FX4CR right here on a Lido mount. So let's get this connected and see if we are just as happy with my FX4CR as I am with my IC705. I'm honestly just kind of, again, blown away that that worked on my 705. The receiver on this also is pretty sensitive. It does a great job of picking up. I'm going to say better than my 7300. Will that make some of you mad? I can put this right next to my 7300 and sometimes this sounds better. It always sounds as good as far as the signal reception and sometimes better. Okay, so let's unplug here. Right now I am in battery power. Okay, let's go ahead and leave the truck running and let's see what we have. Okay, here we go. Truck off.
Thanks for coming back to me. We'll talk to you another time. Maybe better
There's that same noise. All right, we're going to go ahead. Let's get my mic hooked up here on this. All right, let's go to car power. I'm getting a blip every couple of seconds. I don't know if it's consistent. If it's consistent, it's something here around me or my car. All right, that's with... oh, I can't turn that off because I'll lose power. Will my accessory stay on? No, my accessory's not going to stay on. How do I get accessory on in this truck? I've never done that before. Quick push. Nope, started right up again. All right, we're just going to leave it on because I'm not getting any feedback, you know, like the alternator noise or the engine noise. I'm not picking anything up. I am blown away by this. Okay, there you have it. It seems like this is going to work for me. I am totally blown away by that. That means now I have more work to do because I can actually connect this to the vehicle power. And I know now I'm going to get comments, yeah, but your antenna isn't grounded to the vehicle. You're going to blow something up. Well, you know, my actual original thought was to run my HR gear with a LifePo4 battery back here in the back seat, put a 100 amp hour battery back here, something with that has Bluetooth control so I can actually keep track of my battery state of charge. And then just charge that battery up occasionally because this FX4CR is not going to draw a lot. I don't know what that VGC draws, but really my next thing is how am I going to get my antennas up because I've proven that I can do this. All right, well, if you're still here, thanks for hanging around for this whole time. This is my discovery. Go ahead and comment below. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me, since I'm bullheaded, I'm going to do it my way, other things I need to keep in mind, and you know what else I might be able to do to get this to work. Now, I am going to try it, actually connecting my antenna and having it touch metal. All right, I'll try that with my groove track back there on the bed, but I do have a plan to isolate it if I need to because I've just shown that I don't get any vehicle noise. See ya.